Hello and welcome. My name is Nathan Hymas.
My name is Min Lee.
I'm Erin Daly.
And I'm Courtney Bedone.
We make up Team Kelly Green, and we're here to talk about the strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities and threats of amer sports.
We recommend that amer sports should expand its customer demographic to summer and water sports more specifically.
Additionally, the company could explore separating currency by countries, which makes it easier to track individual progress. So I'm Erin, and I will start out with the strengths for amer sports. So first, the winter and the outdoor segment of amer sports is the largest. It contributes to 58% of the revenue. Also, the ski and binding brands that lead in technological and performance-enhancing development are predominantly a part of the winter and outdoor department. Secondly, amer sports key brands include Salomon, Wilson, Atomic, and Precor, and these brands contribute to mostly winter and outdoor sales. Lastly, amer sports hits a worldwide market basis, and we think this is their biggest strength. They sell predominantly, or they sell products in 33 countries. They have manufacturing sites in 12 manufacturing sites, and they have a broad portfolio for many different sports. And now I will turn the time over to Min to talk about the weaknesses.
So talking about the weaknesses, amer sport operates its business in 33 different countries, mostly in North America, Europe, and Japan. This is considered as a weakness because when companies located in different places, it will be difficult for employers and employees to communicate with each other. Amer Sports' most important production facilities is in Austria, Bulgaria, United States, and Finland, while its most important distributors are located in Germany, France, United States, and Austria. And any failures in production or delivery procedures will damage their reputation. And a company's success depends on its ability to identify and respond to the shifting trends in consumer demands, develop better technologies, make new and better and more appealing products. So when amer sports is located in different places around the world, it'll be difficult for them to respond quickly to those changes. One of their strategic priorities is winning with consumers. So if they're not able to respond quickly to the changes in consumer demands, that will have a negative impact on the company. This second weakness that I want to talk about is when the company operates its business in different locations like that, they will face with very high foreign exchange rate. Amer Sports, in producing winter sports equipment, they have to buy materials from markets that are competing with other users of those materials. So fluctuating materials price can affect the company. Another thing is that although the company use US dollars when doing their business, the company is required to do their financial statements in euros, and they will have to face with a high translation risk when they doing financial statements in euros. And the last thing is that amer Sports outsources their production to many other countries, and mostly in China. And recently, the labor cost in China is starting to increase more and more. So that will affect the profits of the company. And the last weakness that we need to take into consideration is the economic downturn. A company like Amer Sport, where they sell very high class and expensive products, and with the economy that is not doing so well right now, selling those equipments will not be a good choice for them. In 2012, the net sales equals 425 million euros, and that decreased 8% compared to 2011. And the net sales in Europe decreased by 8%, and in the US by 16% in local currencies compared to 2011. And the company's year-over-year revenue growth decreased from 17.7% in 2010 to only 12.1% in 2011. And one of the plans of the company is that they will start to open more retail stores around the world. And according to the financial statements at the end of 2012, there are already 201 retail stores and approximately 7,000 employees. So if they are planning on opening more retail stores, that will create more fixed costs than the distribution to customers. They need more money to invest in the maintenance of these stores, and also more money to pay the employees working for the stores.
Hi, I'm Courtney, and I'll talk about the opportunities for Amer Sports. So, expanding within the brands and sports that Amer Sports caters to, the company holds the option to expand their brand within a more specific summer sports market. So, including water sports equipment, tailoring to sports such as water skiing, wakeboarding, and wake surfing, etc. The company can incorporate this to capture a more specific customer base and attract a busy summer sports market, which typically is not their most busy period. So although Amer Sports does offer some summer-specific products already, including Mavic and Wilson, this market overall remains untouched by them. And it's a growing market in today's economy, especially among younger adults. Along with those summer-specific sports, they can also expand to include high-performance water sports, such as water polo, swimming, and diving, for example. So many high-performance water suits rule that individualized market and could potentially differentiate Amer Sports as a company more. Within that market also exists the team sports aspect, which Amer Sports has already targeted and found customers to fit inside that market. And they can further immerse their company inside that market to make more sales. Lastly, Amer Sports can boost their presence and their sales online by offering a small portion of sales direct to their customers.
Hello, I'm going to talk about the threats. So Amer Sports really faces four main threats. The first of which is the numerous competitors in their industry. Second, there's potential entrants that can take up their market share. There's also the bargaining power of buyers and the volatility of the market. So let's take a look at Porter's five forces. We got industry competition, potential entrants, the bargaining power of buyers, bargaining power of suppliers, and substitute products. So for industry competition, let's look at ski manufacturing. This is a heavy industry and very time consuming. And right now there are tons of companies in the ski manufacturing industry. You got big names like Burton, K2, Rossignol, along with Salomon and Atomic. Also, the same goes for the apparel industry. Right now, there's just tons of people in it. Recently, Burton had to consolidate 3 of their companies that produced apparel goods into one because they just couldn't compete altogether. And so as we see with so many companies, comes this very high levels of competition, which is a great threat to Amer Sports' success. Now we have some potential entrants. So in the ski industry and cycling industry, which is Salomon, Atomic, and Mavic, they really have economies of scale. It's hard to get the capital necessary to start up these industries, and also it's like ski presses are very expensive and it takes a long time to make skis. However, this is not the case with Suunto, who makes GPS watches. The GPS is becoming increasingly less expensive to make, and so these handheld GPSs could replace the high-end expensive GPS watches Suunto makes. And substitute products, let's look at skiing. 10 years ago, snowboarding exploded onto the scene. It looked like it was about to balance out 50-50%, half the people skiing, half the people snowboarding. However, today that's not the case. The average number of snowboard visits per season is way down from about 8 days a season to 6.1. And also, you see that snowboarders as a percentage of US all resorts has peaked and is on the decline. It peaked at about 33% and it's down to 30.2%. Also, the average age of snowboarders is going up, which means not many people are getting into the sport. It's really just people who have been in it are staying in it. So other substitute products for Mavic, it's really the fitness industry as a whole. People look at cycling not only as an enjoyable thing to do, but as a workout. So other kind of intense sports such as rock climbing or kayaking or something like that can really cut into Mavic's industry. With Suunto, as we talked earlier, handheld GPSs, easy replacement, a lot cheaper than the expensive watches they sell. With bargaining power of buyers, in ski resorts, the rental shops have a huge control over the ski industry, especially with their purchase orders, because a lot of times they'll buy anywhere from 100 to 200 skis to fill these rental shops, and that can be a very, very big loss if Salomon or Atomic is unable to make that. So now we'll look at the volatility of the market. Recently, Amer Sports has done very well in their sales revenue. It looks like it's increasing. However, in the bike sales in US, we see that it is all over the place. It kind of looks steady, but as in like 2000 to 2001, we see a large drop. Same thing from 2009, 2010, and 2011. From 2009 to 2010, there's been a big increase, and from 2010 to 2011, it drops back down. And really that could be a threat because you can't really judge how the market's going to be, and you have to stay on the front of this change.
So in conclusion, one of the company's biggest strengths is that they have a large and international demographic market. And for weakness is that when the company do its business in different locations around the world like that, they have a very high currency risk. And one of the biggest opportunity for Amer Sports is that they can expand to summer sports instead of just focusing on winter sports. And for threat is that the company has to face with a huge volatility of the market. So it is recommended that Amer Sports expands into the summer sports industry in order to stay on top of the changing markets.